Welcome to another episode of our Bethel Culture Podcast, where we seek to inform, influence, and inspire. That's right. So today we're doing a week on summer camp. A week,
Yay!
as if we got these things out every week. Yes. So, but my name is Weston. I almost said the adult ministries pastor, but no, that's not me. I'm one of the co-lead pastors here at Bethel, and camp veteran extraordinaire. But I am no longer running camps. But I've got the two people next to me who are. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
I'm Damon. I'm the youth director here at Bethel Baptist Church, and I get to run the junior high and high school camps this year. So it's going to be awesome.
There you go. And
My name's Kiera. I am the children's ministry director here at Bethel.
fantastic. All right. So let's jump into it. Why don't you give us your camp? And since you kind of have two, we'll go one you, then to you, let you finish up.
All right.
Junior high camp.
Junior high.
What's
All right.
what's the theme? What's the big idea? What is happening? Junior high camp in a nutshell.
All right. Yeah. So this year, we were kind of trying to figure out what we wanted for like a theme, because usually we want to build stuff around like a fun theme, just because camp is always a lot more fun when you have a cool theme. And so it was actually the interns that gave me the idea. It was Andrew and Ethan. They wanted to do something along the lines of like Wellspring. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a camp name. That sounds more like I don't know, maybe like a sermon series or something. I don't know.
Retreat center.
Yeah. Definitely not for junior hires, for sure.
No, that's like burnt out pastors.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, I like the idea of like a water theme though. And so I was kind of thinking through like, what can I do with water? What's fun? What's something that the junior hires might know, and even stuff that's coming out even now today, and kind of came to the conclusion of like an Avatar: The Last Airbender theme. It's a really cool show. If you want to watch it, watch it. If you want to watch it with your kids, get them prepared for camp, because that's what we're going to be doing for junior high. It's called Wavebender Camp, not Airbender, because there's nothing really that cool there's some things in the Bible you can use with air, but water's like a big theme throughout the Bible. And so what we're really focusing on is the John 7:38 verse, where Jesus is saying that those of you that believe in me, out of their heart will flow living water. There's so many different images given through this living water, the woman at the well, this instance in John. There's so many other instances where, like the Jesus walking on the water story. So many different stories within water. And so we're going with that, Avatar: The Last Airbender, but Wavebender this time around. So it's kind of like Jesus takes this water and turns it into something that we're not used to usually considering water to be. And so everything surrounding that is going to be, there's going to be teams this year, 4 teams instead of 2. It's going to be the 4 nations, the fire, earth, air, and water.
So is water already determined to win then?
Water should be the one that is determined to win, but who knows, really?
People, not that any junior hires are going to watch this, but
No.
they'd be like, oh, I hope I'm on the water team. And again, for those who don't know the source material, will the fire team just do you think they'll automatically embrace the villain role? They're just
I
going to
hope
try.
so, yeah.
I mean, we used to say with junior hires, like, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. That was kind of their motto anyway.
Well,
But
don't encourage them to cheat. I tell them,
I'm just saying, if you're the Fire Nation, it's kind of like being Slytherin in Harry Potter.
you play the
So,
villain a little bit, yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm
absolutely.
rooting, like subconsciously, rooting for the Earth Nation, because that's my favorite nation. So I'm going to be wearing green the whole time because I want to be a part of the Earth Nation. But yeah, so that maybe I would hope that the junior hires take on the role of their nation, but hopefully the Fire Nation isn't too villainous throughout the game.
I mean, they get a redemption arc
They
in
do. They
the
do.
content. Well, you hinted at it a little bit, but for those who don't know the source material, there's a number of source material things. How might if you're a parent who is trying to get their kids hyped for camp,
Yeah.
what might be a good way to get them hyped?
Biggest way is to, as I've been telling Kiera's brother Wesley Spillman, is to watch the show. Not the, I mean, you can watch the live action one; it's good, but watch the original animated version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a great show. You will not regret watching it, and it's just a great way to bond with your kids. But also, there's going to be so many just elements from the show throughout the
Is that an
camp as
Easter
well.
egg?
Maybe, yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing a little bit there, but all the games are going to be surrounded by all the elements and how we can incorporate those within them. There's going to be so many different themes and names of things that you may not know what they are if you don't watch them. You can figure it out if you don't watch it,
Right.
but
You still have a good time. Yeah.
yeah, but if you hear it at camp and you're like, oh, I remember watching that in the show, it becomes just a lot more cool within that. But also just I would just say preparing for messages and all that kind of stuff. I would say definitely if you can take your kids through the Book of John, that's pretty much where we're going to be throughout the whole week within that. I'm going to be preaching. My brother Devin going to be preaching at least once at camp too. He spoke at Surge, did a great job. Junior hires loved it. And so we're going to be trying him out at that camp as well. And so I'm excited for it. Just really jump in as to the source material that you guys can prepare for. There's so much you can get through the Book of John in general that not really all of it goes towards our camp theme, but it's Book of John, my
Gotcha.
favorite gospel.
So you're not going to be doing, the Old Testament rock, that kind of stuff.
Maybe I
Yeah,
might, because
might.
there's also some cool things within the story of Elijah, with like the elements or whatever when he's on the mountain and
Oh, that's
all
true.
the stuff goes through. It's like there's earth and then there's fire and then there's the
There's
low
wind.
whisper,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
it's
That
like,
would
come
be a
on,
really cool
you
story to
can't
cover.
not use that.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So, well, I'm excited. Now I'm sure, they don't necessarily need to take their kids to the Book of John because they would have already taken their kids through all the Gospels in
That
our
is
Bible reading
true.
plan this year, which I'm sure every person and every parent did.
I know I definitely did. So oh man.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, and I know even the Fogartys were getting their kids hyped. Now, the animated series is like 3 seasons because
Yes.
I watched most of it with my kids. Man, it's a little bit older now, 10 years ago maybe.
I would say maybe even longer than that.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
yeah.
it's just 10 years ago when I watched it with them. And then they came out with a single movie, not great.
Don't watch it.
I still
But
haven't seen it. I've
um,
only seen the TV show.
but there is a live action TV show as well that they did
Oh,
2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yep, 2 years ago
And I guess they're doing a new season pretty soon here. Or no, they're doing a new movie.
movie. Yep, when they're older. So
Yeah,
it'll
who
be
knows how
good.
that's going to be. But again, it shows it's still viable, which sometimes you don't know what kids know and what they don't know. Like I did a Scooby-Doo theme one year and I remember thinking like, wait a minute, do kids even know? I mean, even back then, just kids know Scooby-Doo, like, and everything. And again, it was enough of pop culture. Even if you didn't know, you could, pick up on it and things like that. So everybody will still have a good time. Well, what are the details in junior high camp? The administrative details.
Administrative details, very good. So the price for camp this year is going to be $150. It's a bit cheaper than last year, which is great. And so with that cost as well, we're going to be having a work day this Saturday. I don't know when this comes out,
It'll
but
come out Thursday, so
Thursday.
um,
So a couple days from now, if you
there you
do
go.
watch it, you get the opportunity to get $75 towards camp, or hold on to it for anything else for other camp. But that's the cost of camp.
How can they get signed up?
So there's a couple places you can get signed up. There's the loop that we get sent out. That gets sent out.
Email, yeah.
Email loop. It's in there. You can click the link and get registered there. I'm also sending out emails throughout. I've been sending them monthly now. And they have the link in there to get signed up within the calendar. You can look it in there. And then there's also the app. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
it's up on there. You can go through the Sundays tab.
Yep.
Mhm.
Sundays tab, click that, and then it'll take you straight to the link. But yeah, there's plenty of ways to get signed up. And then there's also, if your students have gotten one so far, or you can tell them to grab one, there's little postcards up in the youth room. You can scan the QR code. That's the easiest way, I think, to do that. And so you just go straight to the link within that. So
What time is the work day?
the workday is at 9 a.m. It'll be till around 12. So, and then lunch will be provided. So Little Caesar's
So
Pizza.
half a work day.
Half a
Uh,
work day for them, yes. But
Kids are soft nowadays. Um,
well, we usually get done
He said,
early
back in
too.
my
So
day.
Back in my day. Yes. So, well, excellent. Well, we will cycle back to you with dates for both high school and junior high camp. I'm ready with that. All right. Kiera, now it's your turn. Walk us through junior high camp. Let's start junior camp. Sorry. Let's start with the theme. What is your theme this year?
So I'm always inspired by Damon's themes because they're always so good. And I'm like, I really wanted to do something. Usually what we do is we take a movie and we kind of do it like we've done How to Train Your Dragon. We've done I think one time we did the Lego movie. So usually it's kind of a little bit more younger kid. And I don't know, as I talk to third through fifth graders, they're at that interesting age where they're like, we want something a little bit more entertaining and exciting and stuff, but we also don't want to, go too far ahead or be too young. So Damon, a little Easter egg, I guess, for the next segment for high school, he's doing some kind of he's doing game show, maybe Squid Game kind of related, Mr. Beast. And so I was like, maybe we could do something like that for the third through fifth graders. So me and my interns came up with like a Dude Perfect, Savannah Bananas kind of vibe. So it's actually called Squad Games. And so it's a Dude Perfect, Savannah Bananas. Dude Perfect is like this YouTube group that does like a lot of trick shots. And then Savannah Bananas is just this fun, family-friendly baseball game. They also do like all kinds of trick shots and stuff. So very popular among our third through fifth graders right now. And so we're talking about Squad Games. We're talking about how we were created to be in community and how your church community can be that. And as you're going through hard times, they help you grow in your relationship with the Lord and push you to continue to pursue Jesus. And so we're going to be probably looking at a bunch of different stories throughout the Bible that talks about that. So that's kind of our theme this year for camp. So we're going to do a lot of like trick shots, kind of doing like sports related games and activities. And I'm actually meeting with my interns tomorrow talking about specific games. But yeah, one team is going to be like the Savannah Bananas and one team's going to be Dude Perfect.
What?
So we might have a panda costume for one and then.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
So yeah, I'm excited about it. This is actually a theme that I'm like, okay, we could do so much with games. We could do so much with the sermon stuff, and just get the kids hyped about being at camp.
So yeah, to get hyped,
Yeah.
Here for junior high, we're recommending, hey, watch Avatar: The Last Airbender or whatever. Again, not to be confused with Avatar: The Giant Blue People. We're not recommending
I
that
forgot
one.
about that.
No
Yes.
blue people either.
Not the blue people, or whatever. But to get hyped for this,
Mhm.
what would you recommend?
So I would just say look up Dude Perfect. There's actually a video on YouTube that's Dude Perfect and Savannah Bananas. It's literally called Squad Wars. And so if you, it's very family friendly in terms of like the content that they're pushing out. And so if you want to look up just that on YouTube, there's a bunch of videos that Dude Perfect comes out with. And I'm sure Savannah Bananas has stuff. I mean, I know they have them on Instagram and stuff, but I'm sure they also have stuff that you can look at on YouTube. But just to get your kids hyped about the kinds of games and challenges that we're probably going to have during our game time. So, yeah.
And if you don't know what Savannah Banana is, they're fake baseball team. They're the Harlem
Yeah.
Globetrotters of baseball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
That's probably the best way to
yes.
describe
That is
that.
so true. Yeah.
And everything. So I've only ever really seen clips of them, but they've
Yeah.
become insanely popular. Dude Perfect's been around, I mean, what, 10 years?
Since I was a little kid, yeah.
Yes.
They've been around for a long time.
Four guys, five guys?
Mm-hmm.
One of those. And, believers, I've seen several of them do, Christian content stuff on the side. So that's why they've always been extremely clean, family friendly. So my boys have loved them. I'll still put them on every once in a while
Yeah.
for, YouTube or whatever. If we're all sitting around and, trying to get them off their phones, I'll put a Dude Perfect thing on and they'll all get sucked in,
Yeah.
even now. They watched it when they were 10. Turns out they'll still watch it when they're 20.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's always cool. Trick shots will never get old. So.
Yeah.
Yes, and they just do a good job of creating the hype, and they know how to make good content, good clean. They're down in Texas. They have their own I don't even know
They have a huge
campus.
facility
Um,
that they film their videos in and
Yep,
stuff.
they did. I know they did a tour. I know some kids who went to the tour.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't remember if it was in Peoria or it came to the Quad Cities. It came somewhere somewhat close, and everything a number of years ago. So, anyway, yeah. Obviously the Avatar: The Last Airbender is like almost anime cartoon. There's no real Jesus spiritual content there. And the Dude Perfect would say that generally stay neutral, but there is at least an undercurrent
There
of
is.
that.
And even some
So
from Savannah Bananas.
they
I know
too?
there's some, I don't know if all of it is like all of the people on there are Christians, but I know there's a couple that are Christian influencers that are on Instagram and stuff that
Yep.
they create some Christian content, which is pretty cool. So
Yeah,
What's
Coach Rack.
yeah.
That's one of his name. That's one of them.
Who?
Coach Rack.
Coach
Is what
Rack.
his name is. Yeah, I get him on my Instagram all the time.
Nice.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think something fun would be for your camp is to tell some of the kids to get a yellow suit. Like there's like a guy that runs it all. He
So
wears a
I
yellow suit.
joked about Aaron wearing that, but he was not very for it because the last time I had him dress up, I definitely put him in a Sully costume for trunk or treat, and he did not appreciate that. But it looks like this guy that's like the
The man in the yellow hat.
announcer, manager at Savannah Bananas. He wears this yellow, think man with a yellow hat, kind of yellow suit kind of vibe. So yeah,
Hey, I'll wear it if you want me to come.
he'll be my special guest.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you, Kiera. What are the details, administrative
Yes.
details of your camp?
Yes, it's $160. And then to sign up, you can pick these up at the info table in the lobby, also at the kids check-in area. And there's a QR code that you can scan to sign up. It's also on our app under the Sundays tab. And I also try to send out a weekly email to all of the parents. And so I have the link in there that you can sign your kid up. And the deadline for that is June 1st. So we just want to make sure that we get all the supplies and food that we need. So yeah.
Fantastic. On administrative details, let's cycle back to Damon. So, what are the dates of
Found
junior
them
high
out.
camp?
I
Good
remember
job.
just off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
Junior high camp is July 27th through the 31st. So,
Okay.
and
So, last
our
week of July.
yes, last week of July, right after high school summer camp, and the deadline to sign up is June 29th. So,
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, did you say
yes,
deadline?
She said
Yes,
hers.
June
Okay,
1st.
thank
That's
you.
just what
Thank you.
reminded me.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
June 29th.
Oh.
Get signed up.
And I didn't tell the dates of my camp. It is June 15th through the 19th. So it's Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, Damon, we are kind of back on you.
Hey.
So let's go high school camp. Walk us through. What's the theme? What's the big idea?
All right. So this one, I do have a bias towards this one. This one's my favorite one. It's called Beast Camp. And I heard that some of the non people my age were confused about the name Beast Camp. Because like, why would you name a camp Beast? That's a
Like,
bad thing.
Right from Revelation. Are
yeah.
we doing a camp? I
He's
didn't
going
even think
through
about
Revelation.
that. Beast Camp, Mark of the Beast. Who are you
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
choose? Are you going to get the Mark of the Beast on or not?
We will not be talking about that.
It didn't even cross my mind. That's hilarious.
My grandma actually just brought it up to me. She's like, what is this Beast
Okay,
Camp
well, that's what
thing?"
this is for. We're
Yeah.
seeking to inform.
Informing you now.
yes.
It's not about Revelation. It's actually something a lot more stupid. It's named after a YouTuber named Mr. Beast. If you don't know him, you're probably not on YouTube. He's the
He is the
Probably
biggest,
not on YouTube.
He is the biggest person on YouTube ever.
Yeah, that's
biggest
true.
guy on YouTube. And the huge thing about him and what he does on his channel is like these little like challenges that he does. And then he just recently has been doing within the past couple years these things called Beast Games. And it goes right along with this show called Squid Games. And it's like this survival thing where you're trying to get to be the last one. At the end to win the whole competition kind of thing. And so I kind of wanted to kind of steal that idea and kind of bring the two together, Mr. Beast and Squid Games, bring those two together and then make this one big camp about all these little challenges that we're going to be doing. And the whole thing about the show Squid Games is that it takes all of the games that they used to play as they were kids and turns them into something a lot bigger, more stakes, and a lot just more to do within them. And that's kind of what we're going to be doing throughout the camp as well is we're bringing in red light, green light. And it's not just going to be red light, green light. I don't want to spoil the game, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Different things added to it. There's going to be some obstacle challenges and some just little mini challenges throughout the week as well. And I'm super hyped for it because there's so much within it and there's so many different things that the students are going to be able to do as to they're going to have alliances that they're going to have to work together with each other to kind of win the games. And then some of them are going to be like like you have to choose between your alliance or winning this thing or getting more points for the whole team,
Oh, that's
many
cool.
different things. But it's going to be really cool. But the main thing that we're surrounding it in, as in like what we're going to be actually speaking about, is this idea of community, kind of like your camp, is that we want this idea of community coming into it all through First Thessalonians 5:11 of encouraging one another up and encouraging one another and building one another up as we are doing. And are we doing that within our youth group and that kind of thing? And so within our youth group, we've been having a lot of new people come in and a lot of just new faces that don't really know all the regulars that we've always had. And so the biggest thing that has been on my head is that I want to get these newer students integrated within
That's good.
the
Yeah.
students that we've already had, but also build the youth group as a whole, not just individual small groups that we have. As of right now, it's not like a huge, like glaring problem, but it's like we do have like our small groups, and those are our people that we're with, and then like we only are really together during like game time, and we sit next to each other during message
Right.
time. And so I really want to kind of bring together what it means to be a whole youth group rather than just a bunch of small groups.
Mm.
And so that's what we're really going to be working on throughout the week is what does it mean to build one another up and encourage one another up as a whole community rather than
That's
just
really cool.
individuals in that space. So a lot of fun games, a lot of fun sermons are going to be coming up. And I'm just really excited for what the students are going to be doing throughout the week because there's some fun things I'm going to try out. So
'Cause, yeah, I mean, I guess over a year ago now, when the high school youth group was 15 kids, those kids all knew each other,
yeah.
right? All
Yeah.
those kids all had grown up together, or whatever. Now the youth group's running 40 to 50.
Yeah.
It's real easy to get lost in the crowd, and usually the thing that brings a youth group to have a whole identity rather than just pockets of people or cliques, as sometimes it's called. I don't know if kids use that lingo anymore, but um,
He
is
says no.
there you go. I'm so old. Um, but is usually events and especially camps. I mean, sometimes standalone events, overnighters that helps contribute, but there's something about going to overnight things together for the all the bonding in between, all that kind of stuff that's just so significant. So
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for you. Now, to get people hyped, what 'cause you can't recommend all the elements that are going into this. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's a
No.
progression, right? Of what you can pretty much 100% recommend Savannah Bananas and Dude
Dude,
Perfect.
perfect. Yeah.
You know, you can largely recommend for a junior higher, Avatar: The Last Airbender or whatever.
Hmm.
Like, the kids get angry and shoot fire and things like that. So I suppose there's some of that. You might not show a third grader. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
And depending on where you stand on some of this stuff, would you walk us through what you can recommend
Yeah.
or recommend with caveats for high school students and or
Yeah.
families to get hyped?
And or families. I cannot officially recommend that you watch Squid Games as a family. It
They,
is a bit violent.
didn't they do a like game show version of it? I think
Yes.
the folk of you said
Yeah.
they watched it,
Yeah, there
like
is like a
the
Netflix
adults.
version.
I don't know if they watched it with their kids or not, but
Yeah. Actually, I think Mr. Beast did it. It was the first Mr. Beast games was like what Squid Games did.
okay.
And
But that was
so
the game show version, not the dark,
yes, not the
um,
dark version.
not the dark like. I mean,
Life or death kind of
yes, but the
situations.
actual TV series that came out, I mean, it was fiction, but the setting was kind of game showish. And then there was an actual game show that was a reality show that I didn't
Yes.
realize Mr. Beast hosted that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Makes
it's
sense.
yeah. So that's really the only one that I can really recommend is watching the Mr. Beast games. They're really fun to watch. I've been watching them for research purposes.
Did you
Me and
watch?
Aaron have been watching them too. They're so dramatic.
Are you and Aaron been watching both seasons of Mr. Beast games?
We've only we're like halfway through the first season, I believe.
Okay.
So we haven't watched the second season yet.
We only started the second season and we
Oh.
were kind of but I would highly recommend the first season.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it was good. The twists and turns were amazing, especially if you're only halfway through. I mean, that's some of the good stuff there, and everything. So, as far as reality shows go or game shows, It's nothing like you've ever watched. It's worth the stab. Now, if you watch a couple episodes, doesn't engage you, okay. But my guess is your high school student, if they hadn't watched it, it's going to be engaging for them.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
and it'll definitely get them hyped for the type of games that we're going to be playing
Yeah.
for camp. So yeah, and there's also going to be some Survivor elements in there. That's not an older one, but it's gone back older. I'm pretty sure they're still
no,
making
no,
stuff.
Oh
they're
yeah.
still making them. They're like on season 50 or
Yeah.
something.
So
Um,
if you want to watch a couple episodes of that as well, there's some hidden things throughout the camp that will be within Survivor. So that's not the main thing, but the hidden things that are kind of like going on and that they could find and all this kind of stuff are through Survivor. So yeah, a lot of content for you guys to be watching for
yes.
camp.
But if you're looking at just one thing to get hyped for high school camp, Mr. Beast games.
Mr. Beast Games is the way to
Season
go.
one. That's have
Season
you
I think
one.
it's on
finished?
Amazon, right?
I think he ended up releasing it on YouTube
Oh,
too,
okay.
didn't he?
It's on or not Netflix, YouTube now too. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah. At first, it was exclusively on
Yeah.
Amazon.
yeah.
Have you watched season 2?
I've watched both of them
Okay.
for research purposes.
Research.
Did the second one end up paying off? Like I said, I watched first part and I was like, eh.
It wasn't as good as the first season,
Okay.
but it still was like cool. Like you
Okay.
don't really see it that much in that formatting of things, and so it was still fun to watch too.
Okay.
And
Good.
even things like there's other ones where it's like there was a video about like which age is like the best at like athletics or something. It was like testing 1 to like 99 as to how if they could win this whole like event, and they did like sports challenges and like different like races that they did and like weightlifting stuff, and that one is also a great one to watch because it's kind of like the games that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So the 25-year-old one, in case you're
Oh.
wondering. So
Shocker.
yeah,
Crazy.
Who would have guessed?
I'm almost there. So
You're
almost
The
my
peak
prime.
of your
You're
athleticism.
almost peak.
I hope not, but
Well, excellent. What are the details uh, when it comes to the high school camp?
July 20th through the 24th is the dates for high school. So it's the 1 week right before junior high camp. So it goes high school camp, weekend, junior high camp. So our leaders are going to be in for a lot, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Same price as junior high camp, $150. Same ways to sign up
Same
as
places
well.
to sign up. Yeah.
I did forget to mention though that I do have those cards at my youth booth in the lobby as well. Nobody ever comes to my booth, so make my day and come to my booth.
Nice. Now, one thing we didn't mention, we may have mentioned on the side, but we are at Faith Bible Camp for all 3 camps
Yes.
this year, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a little while. So, I mean, there are maybe a few high school students who've been to Faith Bible Camp
Yeah,
back when they were in junior high.
Or
But,
grade school.
grade school.
or yeah, or
I
maybe,
feel like probably, yeah, for junior camp.
Mhm.
yeah. So let's give the people a little taste. What can they expect at Faith Bible Camp? Because it's very different from a lot of the other camps that we've done the last couple of years.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like has a lot of memories because I mean I remember growing up and going there. So there's a part of the nostalgia there, but it's I can't remember how far away from Peoria it is. It's in the Yates City area. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
about 30 minutes from here, I believe.
35 to 40.
So
Yeah.
that's nice, especially for my 3rd through 5th graders to be nice and close to parents and stuff. So it's pretty big campground, I would say. There's usually a girl's side and a guy's side with cabins, and then there's a nice lake that we can swim and have our afternoon time. Okay,
Lake.
nice. Okay,
Well,
pond.
we
Do we call it a
we call
pond?
it the lake, but it's really a pond.
A pond.
It's
Yes.
a pond.
Yeah. So we usually do swimming, and I don't know if they still have the big trampoline thing. Unfortunately, I remember that as a kid.
Yes, I'm not sure some of those details, but I know they've done other improvements. They
Yeah.
added a Gaga ball pit,
Yes.
and it seems like they've done a couple other things.
Yeah, they got a whole disc golf course out there now.
Oh, that's
So it's
cool.
all around the whole campground. Yep.
So if you want to bring your disc golf stuff,
That's fun.
definitely do that. There you go.
I will not be playing, but you guys can play.
You should maybe pick up a couple discs just to have
yeah.
for people to use,
Yeah.
in case they don't bring their own stuff. So, one thing to note: so the bathrooms aren't in the cabins themselves. They'll have to walk to the bathhouse, but
Yes.
they've got a good bathhouse.
Yeah.
The
which
cabins
is-
are air conditioned,
They
so
are.
that's a That's a plus.
Yeah, the
Yeah. As
bathhouse is actually one of my favorite parts of the camp. Very weird reason.
Why?
A lot of funny stories happen in the
Oh,
bathhouse,
okay.
but
there
Okay.
you go.
the biggest thing is like I have a very vivid memory of just having to walk in the middle of the night out to the bathhouse, and it's really beautiful out there because there's
It
no
is.
lights and it's like middle of the summer and it's nice and cool and all that kind of stuff, and you're half asleep, so you're kind of just trudging along to the bathhouse. But I don't know, it's one of those like memories that isn't really like crazy cool, but it's like something that I've for some odd reason vividly
Just
remembered
became a
doing
core
it.
memory for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's just a good experience having to fight through and make it to the bathhouse. So
Well, part of the reason we love Faith Bible Camp, and we've, just about, I mean, the whole time I did youth ministry, that's where we went for junior high camp. So yeah, I've got some of this nostalgia stuff, but when we've gone other places for Fuge or CIY or some things over the last couple of years, they definitely have better facilities and options. But what Faith Bible Camp gives us, one, is relatively cheap. That's why we
Yeah.
get the price of camp down, and everything, and the flexibility. I mean, it doesn't mean
Mm.
we have to run the camp, right? When you go to Fuge or whatever, they do everything for you. But here it does mean it takes all this prep, but you kind of get more hyped and excited
hmm
about doing it because it's stuff you're going, what do our students need? What fits for our group? How can we bring this group together? How can we get these kids hyped? And you get to bring that and tailor that and the messages and everything like that. So,
And a
um,
lot of times we've had to share camps with other people, or we've had to use their cooking or like their cooks and stuff. And so it's also nice that we have the camp to ourselves, like, and then we also have Ricky coming. Like we can have our own like cooks come in and cook our
yes.
food, and just it's just nice to have sometimes a little bit more creative freedom and control over those kinds of things as we're planning.
Yep, I've gotten food poisoning the past two camps. So, well, food poisoning. I just got sick from the food.
Uh,
Both camps, 2
yes.
years in a
Um,
row.
I don't know why they serve fish on the first night at camp, but whatever. So yes, Ricky cooked for me for a lot of years, and was always great. And again, makes those adjustments, makes those
Yeah.
options, and things like that. So that just gives you a little uh, picture into the Faith Bible Camp. But at the end of the day, students come, they get excited about their friends,
Yeah.
so they almost don't care where they're going to some degree. But we'll keep things pretty fired up and excited and all that. So we want to switch to kind of a fun segment. We're gonna new segment we haven't done before, called cheat codes. And so we thought we'd do cheat codes of kind of those life hacks, those little quick, easy ideas. But let's do it about camp. What are some cheat codes, Kira? Let's go to you first. What are some cheat codes about camp to let parents know, like, hey, maybe think about this?
Yeah. I was just thinking about like parents and like some things that they ask, and I have a lot of incoming third graders that the parents are sending their kids for the first time,
Yeah.
and so they don't know exactly what camp's like. And so, one of the things that I love to encourage and just let parents know is we always take a mail out to camp during the week,
Yes.
and so usually by around 4 o'clock, if you've dropped off packages or letters to your kids, we deliver them out to camp
You drop
every
them off
day.
here at church.
Yes, we drop them off, or you drop them off here at church, so you're not like mailing them or anything like that. And we have someone take them out to camp. And one of the things that I encourage parents to pack and stuff is each day our camp, and usually junior high. I don't know if you'll do it with high school, but we have this thing called cabin cleanup in the morning. And so, what we usually do to encourage kids to keep their spaces clean is we make it into a competition. And so, once they have their room clean, they also decorate it or do a theme and stuff. And so, what is fun to get in those packages are things to decorate their cabins. So whether that's streamers or balloons, or even on the last day when they have a camp party, or bribes to bribe their leaders when to give them a good score or something. That just makes another element of camp fun for the kids, and they love also receiving packages and letters from their parents. So just to let you know, as parents, you can drop off letters and packages here at the church that we'll deliver out to camp Monday through Thursday, because they'll be coming back on Friday. So
That is a great cheat code because again, it's something we might not think about for those
yeah.
of us who've done it for years. And oftentimes the kids the first time they go and they're seeing other people decorate and they've
Yes.
brought. I mean, I would have not even just the students or the campers, but the leaders bring
Mhm.
like an extra suitcase of just
Yes.
stuff to
Yes.
decorate themes with,
We take it seriously.
and yes, and just go crazy. And sometimes the themes tie to the themes of the camp, sometimes not at all. Um,
Yes.
but we always discourage the theme of tornado or natural disaster.
Yes.
You
Because then you
know,
don't have to clean your room. I've done it before.
yes.
Yes.
I mean, there's been other crazy ones of students who will take all their stuff out of their cabin or whatever, and they'll put it like in a leader's car or truck or whatever. So you walk
Mhm.
in and there's nothing in the cabin.
Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite one was it was the eighth grade girls, my eighth grade year. They put up photos of your face just
Yes.
all over the cabin.
Yes.
It was
Funny
your last
that
year to do it. And
yeah, that was funny, fun, weird, and a little creepy. But
Yeah.
the fact that they had prearranged and made so many photocopies
There
of
were
my
so
face.
many.
many.
So many. Anyway, and I always get a lot of bottle caps because that was my favorite.
Yeah.
So that always went a long way too. Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent cheat code. Damon.
My cheat codes are a lot less instructional and helpful.
Well, we're here
That's
to
okay.
inform as well as inspire.
There you go. I guess something fun that goes within a story. Biggest thing that I've learned, even as a camper and as a counselor, never tell your whole cabin that you brought snacks. There
That's a
was
good cheat code.
there was one time that it was actually 2 years ago. I brought like 2 boxes of those 24 packs of chips. And I was like, all right, everybody, this is for the cabin all throughout the week. You guys can just pick from them throughout the days, everything, that kind of thing. First day we get back from dinner, and we saw that one of our students had left dinner early, and he went back to the cabin. And we get back to the cabin, and he's on his bed, like laying there, and he's got both of the boxes of chips completely dumped out, and all the chips are gone. He ate 48 packs of chips
Oh my
within
gosh.
such a short period of time.
I remember that summer because the boys in those cabins were coming over to the girls' cabins for snacks because there were none
They were
left.
so
I was
upset.
gonna ask if this was one of my twins because I know they were not happy with the food situation, and they were so thankful that you'd brought extra food,
Yeah,
snack stuff.
yeah.
But
It wasn't one of them.
okay,
It was one
um,
of our students that I'm not surprised that it happened with him, but he did get sick later, and I was like, just add on to
shocker,
it.
shocker.
But
But that it's good. They can bring snacks,
yep.
but depending on how public they want to be with those snacks.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And then another, just like one that I always like to preach to students, and this is more of a like a real one, you know. The worst thing that you could ever do at camp is try to be too cool within everything. The more that you get into it, the more that you have fun, the more that you kind of get out of your comfort zone within things, the more that you're going to have fun. Nobody actually cares what you're doing at camp. Everybody's just trying to figure things out. A lot of people don't know what's going on in the game. They're just running around, just doing nothing. Or in high school,
Or
usually it involves
standing.
tackling.
yeah, we're just trying to avoid just the standing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get sweaty. I want to.
Yeah. Get sweaty, have fun, like get into the games. The more that you do, the more you will have fun, the more you'll make memories within it all. There's no the coolest people aren't the ones that enjoy the camp the most. It's always the quote unquote weird people that have the best times at camp. And my encouragement always is to be weird because that means you're more interesting than everybody else. And so I love a lot of weird people. Jay Spill is
I
my
love
favorite
that.
weird person. So be weird at camp. It's a lot more fun within that.
And it's
But
always a good growth point. Usually that everybody's a little nervous at the beginning and they start to loosen up. But I always love the transition of eighth graders, usually in the junior high camp, are the most confident, the eighth graders, so they're having the most fun. And then the next year they're the ninth graders and they're so timid.
They
And
are.
I don't
Yes.
I wanna be uncool. And
yeah.
it's like the seniors are going around like, no, it's fine. Like so it's just always funny to watch that transition. But good. Those are cheat codes?
I've got another one.
Okay, go for it.
We always play counselor hunt, and the
Oh.
best leader that ever did it was Cade Fogarty. We never found him once. So if you have the ability to get or make a ghillie suit, make a ghillie suit or buy a ghillie suit, you will never be found. And this might just be for the
See,
leaders,
I was
but
told by Weston and other people that the goal of Counselor Hunt was to be found.
well, I was inspired by Kate Fogarty to not ever be found.
See, because this is how I would preach it.
Yeah.
Because I would always say, and I talked to Kate about this. I said, if you aren't found, you might as well not be here. What is the point of not being found? Now, Kate was a little bit better than some of the other leaders I have who love to take pride in not being found. They would just climb into the bushes or whatever, and
Or on top of the roofs.
those are kind of funny, and people would find them.
Yeah.
But they go into the forest. And I was like, well, no, Kate's not going to go in there with whatever. But Kate would hide relatively like in a spot that you could find him,
Yeah.
and everything. And then he would make noises
Oh
and
man.
things to try to like get people in. So then he could come back and tell the stories. This is how close you were to me.
Yeah.
And so I did appreciate at least the next level that he took it to, but I would still maintain it's Counselor Hunt, not Counselor Try.
That's true. So students bring ghillie suits so that when we play your version, we can't find you. I don't know.
If you can't find students, we have other problems.
Yeah, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah, that is. We did talk about that one time as to whether or not when in Counselor Hunt we should do Student Hunt, because if we can't find the students, what do we do? They're just gone.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know. I can't remember for sure. I think Amy did this for the most of the boys in junior camp, maybe through junior high camp, but I know other families have done it too. Pre-packaging the day's clothes in like a Ziploc gallon or 2 gallon Ziploc or something like that, so they can keep track. Because we have had kids who wear the same thing almost all week, and everything, which and then you generally know they're not taking showers either.
Yeah.
So you said you.
I for junior camp there was one year that I was like, okay, I put it on the packing list. I was like, put it in Ziploc bags and label this is Monday's clothes, Tuesday. But we also have it scheduled like right before like bedtime. All the kids have to take showers. I just made it as part of our schedule just because the kids aren't really gonna do that on their own.
The
sometimes,
kids have to be monitored by leaders
Exactly,
more, and that kind of
So
stuff. So
yeah,
that definitely makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the next solution to that is something that I may have done in the past, is definitely the way to get past being that organized for me anyways, because I'm not organized at all. One of the ones that I didn't say is to bring a generic dark pair of shorts, and nobody will notice that you're wearing the same shorts throughout the week. If you just wear the same color shorts, nobody will ever notice. You could just
What
say
if they
they're
get mixed up with other people's?
well, then you.
Or what if
say
they're so generic,
They're so generic. Everyone else has them.
and or you think you're changing them, but you keep actually just grabbing the same
exactly.
pair?
I feel like it should be the opposite, where
I don't
you
think
have
I'm being
like
very
different
clear as to
colored
what
ones.
I'm saying.
You're saying you are just grabbing the same pair.
It's the same pair.
It's
Yeah.
the same pair. Gotcha. I thought you were saying if you have multiple generic things,
Yeah.
but
I
you're
wouldn't
just
recommend doing what have done
you're
in the past.
just
but
saying if you're just
it's a cheat
generic, people
code.
won't be like, "Oh, nice
Cheat
shorts," and
code.
then be like, the next day, "I liked your shorts yesterday, and those were great shorts on
Those look
Monday."
very similar to your Monday
I
shorts.
really like this kind of shorts. I buy multiple versions.
Yes,
If you hear Damon say that, it's a lie.
it's a
He's
lie.
wearing the same ones.
All right, so let me give my last cheat code. It's a little more spiritual in nature, kind of with the be weird type of thing. That was a spiritual cheat code. Is don't always sit in the back. There's the kids generally who always want to sit in the front, and a lot of times cabins sit together, and that's okay, that's good. But there's often the kids, they're the kids usually don't get involved, they're too worried about being cool, and they always want to sit in the back. And, if you do every once in a while, that's fine. But I would encourage you to mix it up or, have your cabin go sit at the front at least once or twice, for one of the chapels, just because the more you're in the back, a lot of times you're less engaged. It's really easy to be disconnected. It's, you're farther away from worship and from the preacher and, that kind of stuff. And again, anytime you start to feel disengaged, whether that's game or sharing in a cabin, and I get people are introverts and people are nervous, and but just trying to push yourself out there and get a little more engaged at that level. Just a simple cheat code that can drastically change how you interact at camp. If you try really hard to be the cool kid at camp all the time, you might be cool, but you're not going to have a good time.
And I also feel like you can get distracted really easily in the back. Like, I feel like, I don't know, that's just in general. I feel like the closer that you sit, you're like, okay, I'm actually focused on either whoever's preaching or the worship and stuff. I'm not worried about, so and so's messing around or whatever because I'm locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. For our last segment, I'm going to do God moments because that's a pretty big common thing at camp. A lot of kids and/or leaders have God moments at camp. So I've asked each of you guys to kind of bring a God moment, whether it's for yourself or for where you saw that happen for someone. So Damon, what's the one that jumped out to you?
Yeah, so I don't know if we can consider this a camp moment. It was a camp technically, but like one of the biggest defining moments in my faith at all was actually, it was a winter camp, but it's camp. It was in high school and we were kind of talking about like what it means to like be in a relationship with God, and it was one of those moments where like I was getting ready to graduate high school, and then I was like, I feel like I'm alone in this spot here, and even though so I got a lot of friends here at youth group, all that kind of stuff, but I really feel like I'm not pursuing that kind of like real relationship with Christ. And that was one of those moments where I like fully like realized that I was walking in a way that was on my own, away from God in that moment. I think that's one of my biggest defining camp moments within that. But summer camp wise, one of my biggest moments for like summer camp, all that kind of thing, was your last year. It was my eighth grade year. I don't know what it was. It might have just been the fact that you were leaving, or just the fact that everybody was just on one or something. But there's just one of those moments on the last night and throughout the week where it was like, I finally figured out what it means to like actually worship. I think it was Kevin was my cabin leader at the time, and like I saw my buddy Jacob Potter. He was raising his hand in worship, and I was like, I've never known why people ever do that, and I was like, oh, it's stupid, and then I did it because I was like, everybody's like, oh, everybody else is doing it, so I might as well do it too, and that kind of thing. And I told Kevin that back in the cabin. He's like, well, I'm glad you did that, but it's not just because everybody else does it. And, it's like, why do you raise your hands during worship? And I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to like touch the sky or something, it's something stupid. And I never knew what it meant to actually do that in worship, and what the point of like anybody ever doing anything in worship. I was always hands in the pockets, just like kind of singing the song. But it really kind of was a moment for me throughout the week where it was like, there's an emotional side to worship in which that um, sometimes things just seem right, and some people raise their hands all the way up to the sky. Some people use two hands. Some people do like I don't know, the holding the TV kind of thing. There was a guy that described the different kinds of praises. But it's also one of those things where just sometimes those are just acts of like here, I'm surrendering all. That's what it means to me. Of like, this means to like, I give you it all, Jesus. And it wasn't that put together back then, but it was more like there's a reason behind why we do this, and it's not just singing songs and that kind of thing, but really figuring out what and why we worship was a big moment at camp for me, because that's what those big moments are at camp, is those worship times and those last couple nights where things are ramping up and all those kind of things. And you kind of expect that at camp in the last couple of days, but it's also one of those things where it finally like actually meant something to me, and not something just like stupid in that moment. But yeah, eighth grade year.
Which is part of the power of camp, right? Like, we have worship moments here and it takes a while to kind of get into it. But man, when you're at camp and then you're having worship back to back to back to back, for that many days,
Mhm.
gives you an opportunity to dig into something you might not normally do on those type things. Who was leading worship that year? Was it Tanner?
Tanner Wines.
Tanner
Yep.
Wines,
Yep.
who's worship pastor now. So that's awesome. Kiera, what about you?
I would say I was trying to think of just there's been a lot of camps that I've been a part of, but I would say one of the moments that stood out to me was I think it might have been my first camp that I served at in for high school camp, and that was one of the battle cry camps with
Zach Lund.
Zach, and it was the year I think it was their last year that they went to battle cry, and we just had a really amazing night of worship. It was kind of an interesting week because I was thrown in for the first time as a leader with the freshmen. Usually I was with, I don't know, at that time, I think they were like juniors. Zach needed a leader for the freshmen. And so it was my first time leading them and getting to know them. And it was just like a really amazing night of worship. Like students, I hadn't seen the students like worship and just really be all in that kind of worship setting before. And so it was just really powerful to see them worship, which encouraged me to worship. And then since then, I don't know if it was a moment per se, but it's been so, I've been with that same group of girls and it's their senior year. And just being able to have that that relationship grow with them has been really cool to see as at camps and at retreats. Like they used to be the silly freshmen that weren't really serious about like our small group time, and now like we're going later at youth group until like 8:30 because our talks and they're like we're not messing around, like we're actually like digging into, like they're interested in digging into the word and interested in just growing their faith, which has just really been cool to see. So I think that it started at that Battle Cry camp, and then since then it's just our relationship has grown and their relationship with the Lord has grown, which has been cool to see. And then other than that, I would say 3rd through 5th grade camps, it's been a blessing to be a part of getting to see kids experience camp for the first time. And then also kids experience Jesus for the first time, because there's a lot of kids that come and they've never stepped foot in a church, and their parent trusts us with like, hey, this is a safe camp for my kids to go to. So we get kids that have grown up in the church their whole lives, but we've also gotten kids that have never set foot in church before. So that's been cool to have those gospel conversations and those conversations about baptism, conversations about what it means to read your Bible and to worship. So those have been my God moments at camp.
Okay, so for me, my God moment, I mean, I've had the privilege to have, I mean, tons of years of youth camps and get to see that for, a ton of people of exactly what you guys are describing. Again, Tanner Wines would point back to his 8th grade year, a worship moment and things like that. But even for me, it was a winter camp where I kind of really decided to really start following Jesus and rededicated my life. And it was a summer camp type of thing where I decided to go into ministry. And people will sometimes criticize and say, oh, it's a camp high, well, it's just, wait till you get back to the real world or whatever. But there's something about having that type of retreat space that puts you in a different place to look at your life from a different perspective and then really possibly determine what's really important outside of all the distractions of the real world, and then go, I want to redefine how I want to follow Jesus and what I want to do with my life, and those type of things. So that's our plug for, you should send your kids to camp. Send
You
your kids
should.
Do it.
to camp, to summer camp, winter camps, all the camps, grandkids, all that kind of stuff. Support camp, help camp, send packages, all that kind of stuff. So that's our God moment. That's our recommendation. That's the way we're seeking to inform, influence, and inspire.
Oh yeah.